Hi, I'm Mayor Al Bolas, City of New Franklin. Welcome to our video council meetings. You can get copies of this meeting at our City Hall or just call 330-882-4324.
We're going to get started this evening with our committee meetings. We have 4 first readings tonight, no second, third, or pending legislation. Get things started in the Finance Committee. Mr. Anderson's not here, so I'm going to open Finance at 6:05. 4 pieces of legislation this evening.
Here he is, wait. Sorry, I didn't see him pulling you.
I didn't hear. You got your committee opened up, Paul. Good.
All members present now.
Call to order at 6:05. Got several pieces of legislation for finance tonight. I know that we're all aware that the first piece is 15R56.
That's what I like about you, Paul. You can just, before you settle sitting in, you're ready to go.
A resolution terminating the 1981 225 mil police levy. Upon certification that the voters have approved the 1% increase. We had some discussion on this at the last meeting. Is this a revised? Tom, is this?
I'm sorry, Mayor was giving me stuff here.
Yeah, I'm on that first one, on 15R56.
That is the one that will permanently remove the levy. The other, last 3 weeks ago was the resolution of intent. This is what then you will need to do
Okay.
to remove that levy.
All right.
It's up to you whether you want to pass it now or not. I don't believe you need to. I think the message is out there. I did get this done in time to send down to the fiscal office so that they could review it, and they gave me some revised language, particularly in section 3, because it was my understanding that the intention is to eliminate the levy effective January 1, 2016, but still receive the monies that were assessed for 2015. So that's where the fiscal office helped me with that language.
All right.
So that's what you have here. This is that last resolution said the New Franklin Council shall take all actions necessary to remove the levy. This is what you will have to pass to do that.
Since we will know the results by the third reading, there's no reason we can't wait till the third reading.
That was the intention, was
Okay.
to have it so you have 3 readings to look at it and consider it, and so.
All right, everybody in agreement with that? Anybody, everybody comfortable with taking additional time on this one? All right. All right, 15R57. This is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by Summit County Budget Commission, authorizing tax levies. This is an annual event, and anything new or significant that we ought to be paying attention to, Susan?
Nope, same, I mean, obviously the numbers change a little bit from year to year, but it's the same one we have to pass every year.
Anybody got any questions on that one? All right, I'm going to be looking to waive the 3 reading requirement on that one. Anybody opposed to that? All right, 15R58, authorizing transfer of funds within the general fund from administrative equipment to legal counsel, $15,000. Since this is over, what did we pass last year? $10,000 threshold last year?
10,000, yeah.
Okay.
Could you just make clear that's not from
I
me?
was gonna say that even without knowing it. But, yeah, I'm assuming this is for, well, we got litigation and those things about it.
Well, it's actually to pay some legal bills.
Okay,
Not mine.
all right. And Tom is on the budget, okay. All right, anybody have any questions about this one? All right, I would be looking to waive the 3 readings on this as well, unless someone has an objection. Okay. And then we have 15 ordinance, 15O05, to revise a new Franklin municipal income tax ordinance, declaring the ordinance shall be effective. Tom has been talking to us about this for some period of time, that kind of an overhaul of our income tax ordinance. This is not directly related, or indirectly related even to the income tax that's on the increase that's on the ballot. This is something that's necessitated by virtue of a change in the Ohio Revised Code.
That's correct. State legislators passed House Bill 5 in early this year or 2014. I think early this year they adopted it effective January 1, 2016. So every municipality in New Franklin needs to revise their income tax ordinance to comport with the new requirements under House Bill 5. And as you can see, there's quite a few of them. Our old income tax ordinance is about 15 pages long. This one is 57 pages or 56 pages long, not counting the table of contents. All of you received or should have received an electronic copy of the actual income tax ordinance. I didn't want to make Kathy make 56 pages of this for each of you. If any of you want a hard copy, let Kathy know, and I'm sure she will make you a copy, because it's a long document. So, I also sent out yesterday to all of you a memo explaining most of the things that needed to be done in this ordinance, and I kind of dovetailed off a memo that I got from the Ohio Municipal Lawyers Association when I went to a seminar on this past summer. So I know you just got that yesterday, so I'm going to, for two reasons, I'm going to defer in talking about this until the next meeting. One is to give you some time to look at it, and two, I just finished up a root canal about 2 hours ago, so I'm not sure if I'm slobbering on the right side of my face or not.
All right.
So,
Well, then we'll have to take additional time on this one.
well, and you have to take time on it because it's a complex document. There are some things in here that council needs to decide that we need to work on together to finalize. And quite frankly, I've got it in here so that you can have 4 readings on this, because this is another one where we have to wait until the election results, because right now this ordinance says 1%, and if the income tax increase passes at the election to 2%, then we'll need to amend this and have you pass it. I'm looking at the second meeting actually in November to get this passed. Just to give us plenty of time to get the changes and get some of these other issues addressed. Although I'd like to get it passed then, so in that way, we're not required to add an emergency clause to this, because there is no emergency clause. It will be an effective 30 days, more than 30 days after passage. If you wait until December, we have to put an emergency clause in there. So that's, I don't know if any of you have any initial questions about what I sent.
Well, I actually read it. I don't know why, but I did.
Well,
Irrelevant.
you need to, I mean, you're.
But no, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's,
I didn't read your memo though. I didn't go and get my email today, so I didn't get
yeah,
it.
I just sent that late yesterday.
So this
I
might
apologize.
be, covered in there, because like page 36, you got blank on the number of the age for a juvenile of tax. Is that something that we gotta determine? Sorry. Kick you with-
No, well,
You know,
yes,
you
yes,
got
and-
a blank, so that's. what
yes
we
and no.
determined.
The actual, the age, if you saw it, Mr. Geem.
I did see it back on another page,
Right. and
but
then-
that was left blank there, so I don't know if that's something we can, that's when you talk about the parks doing it in 2 counties,
Yes.
so we could, okay.
So our ordinance does exempt anyone under 18
Yeah.
from paying income tax. That section, those things kind of tie together. That all deals with mandatory filing. And I'll just explain that real briefly. If I'm a non-resident, wait, let me take that back. If I'm a non-resident, then to file, all I have to do is send in my W-2. If we have the option of giving that to residents too, the statute does not do that. The statute says all residents need to file. We can change the language so that residents would only need to send in their W-2 if that's what was required. So when you read my memo, you'll see I'm gonna explain that
Okay.
at the meeting, so that's the part, that's what I was gonna explain. 'Cause
That's no problem.
the language is a little confusing, and yes, so.
And only because in some of these, in like page 55, 56, where it talks about the felonies for not filing and paying, all of them are blank too, and I'm sure that's not something that we determine degree of felony, that's already
Well,
in
it-
statute somewhere?
No, we have that option, I mean,
Okay.
and that's in the memo,
Like the
that
reason.
our current tax code, any violation is a misdemeanor of the third degree.
Okay,
The template that we received kind of sets it up so you can increase the penalties as the violations
Okay,
continue.
that's
So
all
the
I
first
wanted.
violation might be a misdemeanor of the third or fourth degree, and then the second one might be a misdemeanor of the second degree. So no, you do have that ability to decide what the level of the charge should be.
and then my other thing, I hope you got a blank template, all the New Franklin inserts you had to do, otherwise you had to search them out.
Well, fortunately, with the word processing programs, we were able to do a seek and refine because they were all municipality, and I don't like using generic in these kind of things. So we had to, and that was two things, if any of you find it, I think we got most of them. I looked at most of them, and by we, I mean my cousin Stephanie, who you know, Stephen's sister, helped me with this, typed it for me, she did some work for me. So I think we found all that. The other thing we had to change, and if you see any in there, I think we got all those, the template referred to chapters, because most communities have codified ordinances, so it might be chapter 600. So it kept referring to this chapter, but since we don't have a chapter, we had to change all those to this ordinance. So that's in there too. Any other questions for now? Okay, good, thank you.
All right, any other business for finance? We will adjourn finance at 6:17.
All right, thank you, Paul. That's all we have for that for committee. We need to do an executive session. Does anybody have a problem if we go into that now and come back, or be okay?
We do it now, that way she can.
Okay.
Amanda's here.
Okay. I shouldn't see this taking an awful long time. I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel,
Fire department.
fire department personnel,
Yeah.
and,
Are you gonna invite the fire chief in?
yes, you can come with us.
Yeah,
Thank you. If you want, would you like to? Yeah.
And
council.
Yeah,
Council.
and yeah, Amanda.
And Amanda. Okay? No, get a roll call for that, please.
Yeah.
I got a motion? I made a motion, we have a second, okay. Yeah. Now we do, okay.
Mr. Adamson.
Yes.
Mr. Hargit.
Yes.
Mrs. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Dean.
Yes.
Mr. Cobbins.
Yes.
Ms. Norris. Yes. Mr. Stock.
Yes, no formal actions will be taken during this executive session. Yeah. All right, here we go. I move that we adjourn the executive session and resume the regular committee meeting. Can you get a second? Hey, I'm just getting us out of roll call, please.
Mr. Adamson.
Yes.
Mr. Hargit. Mrs. Jones. Yes. Mr. Dean.
Yes.
Mr. Cobbins.
Yes.
Ms. Norris.
Yes.
And Mr. Stock.
Yes, thank you. There was no formal actions taken during the executive session. I'd like to call to order the City of New Franklin Council meeting this October 7th, 2015 at 6:57. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Adamson. Mr. Hargit.
Present.
Mrs. Jones. Present. Mr. Dean.
Here.
Mr. Cobbins.
Here.
Ms. Norris.
Here.
And Mr. Stock.
Here, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting of September 16th, 2015.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit.
Yes.
Mrs. Jones.
15.
Mr. Dean.
Yes.
Mr. Cobbins.
Yes.
Ms. Norris.
Yes.
Mr. Stock.
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson.
Yes.
All right, passes. Thank you. Go to public comments. Please keep your comments addressed to council in under 4 minutes.
Sign all these.
All right. Moving on. Tonight we have 4 first readings, no second, third, or pending legislation this evening. Move into Resolution 15-R-56.
Sponsor Mayor Bolus, a resolution terminating the 1981 2.5 mil continuous New Franklin police levy upon certification of the Summit County Board of Elections that New Franklin voters approved a 1% increase in the New Franklin income tax, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was assigned to finance, and we will take the full 3 readings, and by that point, we will know whether or not we need to pass this.
Time requested.
That we are, so we'll request an additional time.
All right, time requested, time granted. Move into Resolution 15-R-57.
Sponsor Mayor Bolus, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Summit County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the Summit County Fiscal Officer and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was also assigned to finance. This is an annual event where basically we just renew our acceptance of the rates that have been in place for many years. And therefore, I would move that we waive the 3 readings on 15-R-57.
We have first and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Coppin?
Yes.
Ms. Norris?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Well, and I would move that we approve Resolution 15-R-57.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please. Any discussion, I'm sorry? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Coppin?
Yes.
Ms. Norris?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Thank you. Moving to resolution number 15-R-58.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds within the general fund and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was assigned to finance as well. It's a transfer of funds for legal fees that the city has incurred, not related to our general counsel, our Tom Massara, but separate and apart, other legal matters that the city's had to attend to. And I would waive I move that we waive the 3 readings on 15-R-58.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Coppin?
Yes.
Ms. Norris?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
All right, passes for the waive,
I
7-0.
move that we approve Resolution 15-R-58.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Norris?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
And Mr. Coppin?
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Thank you. Moving to ordinance 15-O-05.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, an ordinance to revise the New Franklin Municipal Income Tax Ordinance, ordinance number 05-53, and declaring that this ordinance shall be effective January 1st, 2016.
This was assigned to finance as well, and this is going to take some time. It also may be amended depending on the outcome of the election in November. We're going to ask for additional time on this, proceed to a second reading.
All right, time requested, time granted. Again, the second.
And just so all of you aware, it will be amended because there are areas in there that need to be looked at and decided. So you'll see that when you read it. Right, Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Thanks, Tom. Again, no second, third, or pending legislation this evening. Move into the mayor's report.
All I have is, the campaign's doing pretty good. We're still short about $2,300, so $10, $20 donations to the Friends of New Franklin. Safety would be helpful. Things we're working real good. We can't do any infrastructure unless we have some money for next year. We only have about $100,000 that we can spend from the general fund. And it's time to make a move here in our part that we want to grow. And so I'm just asking for anybody's support. We're getting a lot of good comments on the income tax too, and the way it's coming along, and the 2.5 mils. I'm going to thank you for passing that too, so, or at least promising that you'll pass it, so.
Well, it is binding, we've
Okay.
discussed that, so it's binding, and so
Yeah,
if there are concerns in the public, they can pass what they have in front of them now, but it's binding.
In commercial property, again, like I said, it'll be right around $362 per 100,000 that will be taken away. Now I'm talking about the 2.5 mils that will be removed per 100,000 of valuation of the property.
Have you contacted these, like, business owners?
We're working our way right down the list, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like 619
Yes.
and, you know, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, Tom
and-
Joseph gave us a substantial donation.
Okay, and,
And same thing with Gary Kendron.
okay.
Who is our
Dr.
chairman, by the way?
Or you just let me know.
Gary's
If
the
you
chairman.
want me to go talk to anybody along that.
Talk to anybody you can, we just,
Okay.
we have a
When I
mailer
get
going.
my teeth worked on, I'll talk to the.
Okay. We have a handbill going out, it should be tomorrow or the next day, with all the, I forget what's the people, when you go ahead and apply for
Early voting?
yeah, really,
Absentee
absentee,
voting?
thank you very much. For the absentee voters, we have a list, and it's getting bigger and bigger for those absentee voters, and we're going to them right now. And we're gonna be doing a mailer, so we just sent out some postage for the mailer, and about 2,500 people are gonna receive that, for actually home households. And then, the residential's not gonna be as big, but it's still gonna be $27 per 100,000. It'll be removed from the property taxes. I think it's a good thing. We're way out to kilt. You know, like Harry said, we're like third highest in the county for the millage that we're getting right now. So if we could even pull another 2.5 mils off of that, that'll get us lower. And thank you, that's all I have.
All right, thanks.
Kind of ended, huh?
Going to the finance report.
Yes, I wanted to let you know, we had talked about before the OhioCheckbook.com, the treasurer's, Ohio State Treasurer's Office. We are now online. If you go to our website, there, on the home page, right down from all the phone numbers, you'll see a link it says newfranklin.ohiocheckbook.com. You click on that, and it will take you to our page that's part of the treasurer's office that shows all our expenses for 2014. And it's just the expense side, but it shows the pie charts and graphs and things of that nature, so that you can drill down through and see the expenses, and opens up our checkbook for residents or whoever wants to do that. So we are online and we're good to go. And that's all I have for today.
All right. Thank you. Move into old business. Old business.
Recycling?
Thank you. Okay, any other old business? New business?
Recycling.
None. Damn boy. All right, move into our, oh, that's okay. Okay. Public anybody have any questions for us this evening or anything we talked about tonight? All righty, we already had our executive session. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, our next council meeting will be October 21st, 2015. It'll be committee at 6, council directly following.